Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and today was the Let's Get Graphic Readathon. I have done little videos throughout the whole day just to talk to you about what I have been reading, so let's get straight into those. Hi everyone, so it's 9:30 in the morning. It's the start of the Let's Get Graphic. Well, it's not really the start was at midnight last night, and unlike hardcore players like Kaitlin from Kitty G, I had to get some sleep, so I got up at 7:30, fully planning to get straight and stuck into graphic novels. However, when you've got a 4-year-old, things don't always go to plan, and she was just very excitable this morning and wanting to play, so we had to do a bit of Play-Doh and have some breakfast. I have read a little bit so far of my first book, which is Ghosts by Readathon, which was picked as the book I should start with on my Twitter poll, and I'm 3/4 of the way through, so I'm really enjoying it. I love the artwork in this. I really enjoy Readathon's storytelling. It's very sweet. The artwork is very bold, and I don't want to say simple because that makes it sound like it's easy to draw, but I just really like the bold colours, and the story in this one is great. I read her book Smile a while back, which is about her experience of having braces, and this one is about a girl and her sister, and their family has moved them to the town of the coast of Northern California, and in this town they believe in ghosts and the Day of the Dead, and they believe that ghosts are real and that they come back, and they've moved there because her younger sister has cystic fibrosis, and they believe that this is a better place for her in terms of helping her with her lungs. And it's just really interesting. We're learning from the elder sister's point of view what it's like to have a younger sister who does have cystic fibrosis, and how she copes with that, and how her life changes and how she has to deal with that. And then you've also got this Cinco de Mayo, I think it's called, or Day of the Dead storyline, and ghosts and that side of it, and it's just really wonderfully done so far. So I'll check in hopefully in about half an hour when I finish this one and let you know what I thought and my rating and what I'm going to be moving on to. Hi guys, so I just finished my first graphic novel, and that is Ghosts by Readathon. I am in love with Readathon's writing. She writes her graphic novels in a really in a way that you feel like it's very easy. It feels very simplistic, but I think that is very, very misleading because she wraps you up in some quite heavy topics, but she makes you feel safe to read about them. And the strength in the little girl in this who has cystic fibrosis is amazing. The way that she has taken a disease which causes your lungs and your breath to be very difficult. I think your lungs fill up with mucus. The way that she's taken that, and she looks at how ghosts in the Day of the Dead can't breathe, and she looks at how the elder sister struggles to catch her breath when she's feeling stressed and overwhelmed, and the parallels between that are really brilliant. I really loved this. The artwork was brilliant, the story was brilliant, and it was just a really lovely graphic novel to start with, and I'm tempted to move straight on to the other book I've got of hers, which is called Drama, but I think I'm going to swap it up a little bit now, and I think I'm going to move on to In Real Life by Cory Doctorow and Jen Wang. So I will get back to you on this one in a bit, and I should say before I totally stop talking about this one, it was 5 stars. Hi there, so I've just finished my second book of the Readathon. It's In Real Life by Cory Doctorow and Jen Wang. I really enjoyed this. I ended up giving it 4 stars. This is a really interesting look at sort of culture and culture clashes and economics and online gaming, and I really enjoyed it. It was very interesting, and a really interesting look into different lives, and I really enjoyed the artwork. I thought the artwork was really great, and I really enjoyed this sort of look into online gaming. Online gaming isn't something I've really ever got into, but it's definitely something that I find intriguing. So I'm off now, once I've picked up the phone that's ringing, to pick up my next book of the Readathon. Hi there. So I have just got back from having some lunch at the local pub with Matilda and my husband and his dad, and they've gone off for a nice walk, and I came back to finish Drama by Raina Telgemeier. I love this author. She's just really good at telling stories and telling real life, very sort of realistic characters. This one's really good. It's about the backstage crew in a drama group. Is it at middle school? A middle school stage crew, and it's just about relationships and working out who you are and working backstage and the theatre. And I did a lot of theatre growing up, and I was on stage quite a lot, and I used to belong to a drama school, and I just really enjoyed this. It was very reminiscent of the sort of very over the top theatrical feel of being part of that group, and yeah, it was very fun. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as the other books I've read by her, but I still really enjoyed it, so I gave it 4 stars. And then I've finished Food Anatomy by Julia Rothman. Unfortunately, I enjoyed this one, but I was expecting something a bit different. I was expecting it to be a little bit more like Relish by Lucy Knisley, where she talks about food, but she also talks about her life, and you get a bit of a personality through that. But this is just a food book. This is just talking about food, different types of food from different countries. We talk about how certain things are made, different instruments that are depicted, short order lingo on eggs. So it was interesting, but it was very dry. It was very you know, it's just food. It's like, these are the different types of forks there are, and there's pictures of them, and I kind of wanted a bit more personality in there, so it was a little bit of a letdown. I mean, I love the art style in this, and it's definitely one that you can sort of flick to and from if you wanted to get a bit of information about something. You know, if I was throwing a dinner party and we were eating Japanese, I could look up sort of, you know, the traditional way of setting up the table, or Chinese or American, or there's Thai and Korean. So that was quite interesting, but it's definitely not my favourite book to read in sort of one hit. So I gave this one 3 stars. And I will come back to you when I've read my next. So that's 4 books read so far. And so far I've had 1 3-star and 2 4-stars and a 5-star. So it's going really well, and I'm well on track to be hitting my sort of personal, in my head target of about 7 graphic novels for the day. So I'll get back to you in a bit. Hi, so it's now 4:45 in the afternoon, early evening, and I've just finished my 5th book for the readathon, and that was Tomboy by Liz Prince. This was one that I was expecting to kind of like, but not to love as much as I did. It's black and white, and it's quite basic in its drawing. And I wouldn't say that the art style and the fact that it is in black and white really drew me in. But what did draw me in was the story of Liz Prince growing up. And it really made me question my own stereotypes that I put on gender, and how I perceive people just from the way that they choose to dress and look, and I just think that's really important. Liz Prince is a self-proclaimed tomboy, and when we think of tomboys we tend to think of little girls, you know, 5 to 10 maybe, that like to wear trousers and get dirty and rough around with the boys, and then we just assume that they grow out of it. But why should they grow out of it? Why should girls not be allowed to have short hair and dress like boys and like the same things as boys? And even there, I've done it. I've said dress like boys. But why is that dressing like boys? Why is that not just dressing to what makes you feel comfortable? And Liz put up with a lot of bullying and pressure to conform to what is considered the norms growing up. You know, people assumed because she wore trousers and t-shirts and liked to wear baseball caps that she was a lesbian, or that she was transgender, or that, you know, she was different, and people didn't like that. And it was hard for her because she was a girl, she liked boys, she wanted to have those romantic relationships with boys, but she didn't want to conform to, you know, wearing bras and low-cut tops and skirts and being girly and pretending to like things she didn't. She just wanted to be herself, and fair play to Liz Prince, she was herself and she persevered in just being who she is, and it took her a long time to find the community that she felt like she could be herself and she was accepted. And I just think this is a really, really brilliant story and really important for anybody that might feel that way, who might class themselves as a tomboy. And if you know someone like this is a must read, and I gave it 5 stars. Hi everyone, so it's quite late at night now, it's about 11:45 and it's coming to the end of the Let's Get Graphic readathon. I had a bit of a break, maybe a 4-hour break at the end of the day today, because I went to see Hidden Figures at the cinema, which is, oh, it was brilliant, so I definitely recommend going to see that. I cried a lot. But I've completed 2 more graphic novels, the first being The Cute Girl Network, and this is by Greg Means, MK Reid and Joe Flood. This is a black and white graphic novel, and it's about a girl. She's just moved to a new city and she meets a boy who's selling soup at a soup cart, and they strike up sort of a friendship come start of a relationship. And it's about this cute girl network which has been set up by the women in this city to share their experiences of, you know, rotten men and men that have done them harm, to warn other women to not make the same mistakes as them. And there's a lot of women that have got a lot to say about this man that this girl's met, and it's just a story of that. It's a story about how not every man suits every person, and there's the right person for the right person. And I really ended up enjoying this. It was really good fun, and I gave it 4 stars. And then the final book I read was book 7, and that is The Eternal Smile by Jean Yuen Lang and Derek Kirk Kim. I really enjoyed Jean Yuen Lang when he did the American Born Chinese books, but I just didn't get this one. It's 3 short stories, and they're looking at sort of reality versus virtual reality, I suppose, or imagination, and it just missed its mark a bit for me. I didn't find it great. The artwork was okay, but I just didn't find anything particularly exceptional in the storytelling or in the stories themselves. So unfortunately this was a bit of a dud for me, and I just gave it 2 stars. So that's it from me. That's the end of our first Let's Get Graphic readathon. I've really enjoyed today. It's pushed me to read 7 graphic novels that I might not have picked up otherwise, or well, I would have picked up because I own them, but I might not have picked up and got to very soon. I've really enjoyed it. I think me and Kaitlin will definitely look at doing this again, so if you haven't had a chance to get involved this time, maybe next time. And yeah, keep an eye on the Let's Get Graphic competition video that I made if you've entered, to see who has won. And thank you for everyone that took part. It's been a really enjoyable day, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, BookTube.